What's up, SnEaKyNation? SnEaKy P here, back with all the news after Week 10 and year number 3 of our 49ers franchise, where the 49ers picked up their second loss of the year to fall to 7-2. Next up, we have another road game against another division team in the Arizona Cardinals. Well, let's take a look at some highlights from this one. Nelson Spruce getting things going with the Rams. That would set up this Blair Walsh field goal. The Rams going on top early in this one, 3-0. The 49ers did have an outstanding first half. This is going to be Austin Seferian-Jenkins on 3rd and 20, breaking some tackles, going down the left side of the field from the 13-yard line all the way to the 1. He is taken down. That would set up this pitch to Kirkland Marion into the end zone. The 49ers on top, 7-3 over the Rams. The 49ers were not even done there, though. Jared Goff looking to throw on the left side. This time he will find Tavon Austin with a nice spin move. He would take it down to about the 33-yard line. The Rams would get another field goal. The score now 7-6 with the 49ers having the lead, but they weren't done. Shaquan Fryer reception. 2nd down and 5. Nobody guarding Corey Essex at all into the end zone. That is an easy touchdown for the 49ers. They will take a 14-6 lead over the Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams are still just not guarding Corey Essex. 2 plays, very similar, and we called an audible on the second one because we saw that this might happen. And Corey Essex getting free, his second touchdown of the day. The 49ers on top, 21-6 over the Rams early on in the second, midway through the second. Now this one is tipped into the air, and TJ McDonald with the interception there, and that would set the Rams up with good field position. However, this is going to be Jared Goff looking down the right side of the field, overthrowing his target, and Chantrell Wilkerson will get the ball right back. So the 49ers taking over here with about 3 minutes to go in the second. Less than a minute to go. It is Dimitri Todman getting free. Austin Schobel staying in the pocket, taking the hit before delivering a perfect throw, and the 49ers on top, 28-6 here. The Rams trying to get some points on the board before halftime, and Tavon Austin will avoid the tackle. It was actually, I think, DeMarcus Avery missing the tackle. Chantrell Wilkerson down the right side all the way to the 5-yard line for Tavon Austin. It'll be 3rd down and goal, and into the end zone. Kamar Aiken has a touchdown, so the Rams are not out of it yet. The first half was all 49ers. The second half is all Los Angeles Rams here, as Aiken, another reception, picking up a 1st down. Then on 3rd down and 3, Todd Gurley with the run down the right side. And then on 1st and 10, Eugene Fontenot, who the 49ers are familiar with, he was the starting running back last time these teams met, would take it in from about 14 yards out for the touchdown. And we have a 1-possession ball game. Then Willie Snead, unable to hold on to the ball, drops it, and Alec Ogletree will get the interception there, setting the Rams up with another field goal. 28-23 is going to be the score. The Rams are not done yet, though. Kamar Aiken, another reception. He had an outstanding game against Jimmy Ward on 4th down and 1. Todd Gurley shut down, unable to get the first, and the 49ers will take over, but Kirkland Marion giving the ball right back. Aaron Donald stripping the ball free. Alec Ogletree will jump on it, and the Rams set up for another touchdown. Into the back of the end zone, Tavon Austin has it, and the Rams will take the lead since 3-0. Their first lead since 3-0. Going for 2, though, Todd Gurley is just poor awareness here. Unable to get the ball across the goal line. It is not going to work. 29-28 is the score. And this one, I just hit the wrong button. That's all there is to it. I can't even blame that on a bad read or anything. It just doesn't even make sense. I just hit the wrong button, so I apologize. 3rd down and 9. The Rams get another touchdown. This time, Kenny Britt in the end zone. And the 49ers just struggling in the second half. Too many turnovers on 4th down and 9. Looking for Corey Essex. It's not going to happen, and the Rams will get the victory. The 49ers fall to 7-2 on the year. The Rams now 3-6 on the season, but again, the 49ers coming up against 2 more division road games this week against the Cardinals, next week against the Seahawks, and we'll have to see how they respond. Again, Austin Schobel, none of those interceptions were really his fault, but he really struggled getting the offense to move in the second half. We didn't score a single point in the second half after 28 first half points. The questions, the first one from Aruo James: play calling has been an issue for a few years and ultimately led to this loss. Do you plan on changing it to feature a more vertical offense? No, not right now. We're 7-2. I think it'd be a great mistake to kind of try to change everything up, even though we've been winning. Sure, we just got a loss, but ultimately this team has been having a lot of success lately. And I don't really think changing it up with a 7-2 record would really make a whole lot of sense for the 49ers. We don't really have a quarterback that can throw the ball accurately down the field every time either. We might have the wide receivers that can play that style, but we don't have a quarterback that's accurate enough for that yet. So we have to consider that too. Eli Treadway, with all the times Marion has been stopped behind the line, are you encouraging him to bulk up? We wouldn't be opposed to it, but really we're just blaming the offensive line right now. It would be great to see him break tackles, but that's not his game. That's not why we drafted him. We do have Carlos Hyde for that. We want Marion to run more with speed. The Titans going to get the victory over the Texans, 31-25, and the Titans now 4-5 on the year. The Texans now 4-5. This is another division that is certainly going to be very interesting. A lot of teams playing pretty good in this division right now. So we'll have to keep an eye on this as we move forward. Obviously, the Jags have been having an outstanding season, but we're seeing the revival of the Colts as well. And with both of these teams 4-5 right now, neither of which are completely out of the playoff picture yet. 0 interceptions in this one. Arakpo would force a fumble. It would not be recovered. Heath would be the only one to recover one. 31-10, the Lions with a victory over the Vikings. The Lions now 6-3 on the year. The Vikings now at 4-5, and a lot of different quarterbacks playing in this one. Adrian Peterson had a touchdown. James White with 2 touchdowns. Stafford would run for 1 as well. Earl Anthony, 7 catches, 67 yards for him. Eric Ebron would get a touchdown in the receiving game. Defensively, Whitehead leading the way with 11 tackles. Sacks, 2 by Danielle Hunter. Interceptions, we got 1 by DeAndre Levy. Fumbles forced, we are going to have 2 fumbles forced, neither of which would be recovered. 47-7, the Jags with a victory over the Jets. Unbelievable. The Jags now 7-2 on the year. The Jets are now 0-9. Robert Griffin, 4 interceptions, 0 touchdowns on the day for him, and the Jets just continuing to struggle. They have yet to really address their quarterback issue, and I think with an 0-9 record, they're going to be forced to in this year's draft coming up. Is there a quarterback worth taking up there? I don't know, though. We'll see. Miles Jack and Jackson each with a sack. Interceptions, 3 by Jalen Ramsey on the day, and Smith would get 1 as well. But Jalen Ramsey was not done yet. He would also force and recover a fumble, a monster game from the young corner. 28-6, the Panthers with a victory over the Browns. The Panthers now at 6-3. The Browns now at 2-7. And again, Houston Church really not getting it done today. I think he needs help at wide receiver. Corey Coleman hasn't quite developed the way they were hoping to just yet. He did show signs of being a very good player. It just hasn't materialized yet, but they need some help there, both offensively and defensively. Interceptions, 0 on the day. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. Nothing going on there either. 27-20, the Saints with a victory over the Bucks. The Saints now at 4-5. This is 2 straight wins with Kirkland Keaton leading the way. The Bucks are now 3-6 on the year. Jeremy Hill, 70 yards on the ground for him. Receiving, Cooks, 77 yards on 5 catches. As we scroll down the list, there are the touchdowns. Only 1 reception for the guys that got the touchdowns. Defensively, Will Bain would lead the way in tackles. Sacks, Will Bain getting a sack. Rankins and Jordan would join him with Anthony for the Saints defense. Interceptions, going to have 2 on the day, both again by the Saints. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. Nothing happening there. And then we got a tie ball game between the Cowboys and the Redskins. The Redskins now at 4-4-1. The Cowboys now at 2-6-1. So a missed opportunity by the Redskins to get a victory over a struggling Cowboys team. And I hate it when we see these ties. I hate it. I don't know. It's not a fan. Pierre Garçon, 7 catches, 134. And look at Ono Gayton yet again. 3 straight games with a touchdown for the rookie out of Air Force there. Jalen Smith, 16 tackles on the day. Going to get quite a few sacks in this one as well. Interceptions, 1 by Breland, 1 by Josh Norman, who continues to play great for the Redskins. Dennard would force and recover a fumble. 26-21, the Eagles with a victory over the Falcons. The Eagles now 4-5 on the year. The Falcons fall to 3-6, and despite being healthy this year, they are just struggling. I don't know what's going on with them. They went 9-7 last year. They were in the Super Bowl the year before. Last year they went 9-7 with Julio Jones being injured. And you saw Eubanks really step up as a #1 wide receiver. Now you have both of those guys healthy with Matt Ryan, and they're just not getting it done. The defense has really let them down for the most part, but you would still anticipate their offense carrying them to more victories than what we are seeing at the moment. One fumble forced, it would not be recovered. 21-14, the Broncos with a victory over the Chargers. The Broncos now 8-1 on the season. The Chargers are now 3-6. So the Broncos take over as the team with the best record in the NFL. Earlier, the 49ers did have that mark. They did play the Broncos too. But right now, just not looking good. Parker Rich, 9 catches. He only did have 48 yards though. Humphreys, 118 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Defensively, Perryman would lead the way in tackles. Sacks, we are going to have 1 by Perryman, 1 by Ingram. Interceptions, 1 by Perryman. So Perryman just really a monster game there for the Chargers. 2 fumbles forced, neither of which would be recovered. 42-21, the Chiefs with a blowout victory over the Cardinals. The Chiefs now 6-3 on the year. The Cardinals now at 3-6. And again, after looking really good last year, going 11-5, already with more losses, just not looking good and falling further and further behind in the division at the moment. Michael Floyd, 8 catches, only 45 yards for him. He did get a touchdown. Tajay Sharp would get a touchdown. Ash and Kelsey with Lacey and Gresham all getting touchdowns as well. And then Macklin way down there. Jeremy Macklin, 1 catch, 19 yards, and a touchdown for him. Buchanan would lead the way in tackles. Only 1 sack on the day. Interceptions, or Peterson and LaMarcus Joyner, who joined the Chiefs with the interception. And 4 fumbles forced and recovered. 6 fumbles forced, 4 of which would be recovered in this game. The Giants with a victory over the Seahawks, 31-17. The Giants now 6-3 on the year. The Seahawks are now at 5-4. And Allred and Eli Manning are both healthy. I did check. So Allred is just the backup quarterback right now. A missed opportunity for the Seahawks to get closer to the 49ers, though, with the 49ers picking up a loss. They could have been 6-3. The 49ers would have been 7-2. And with a game coming up shortly, that could have been a big win, but the Giants are going to get it done. The Giants, again, went 5-11 last year. Currently 6-3, definitely looking a lot better. Seahawks still above 500 on the year, though. 25-21, the Bills with a victory over the Packers. The Bills now 6-3 on the season. The Packers now at 5-4. So Packers really struggling. They went 11-5 last year and not off to a great start compared to what you would expect from a Packer team right now. The Bills, on the other hand, went 10-6 last year and really look like they might be taking the next step, getting a win against a good Packers team. They have some solid victories with their 6-3 record right now. And with the Patriots struggling this year, again, this is another team to keep an eye on that could potentially win that division. Obviously, the Dolphins are playing great too, but another team to look out for nonetheless. And you're going to have the Steelers 34-28. So the Patriots, another loss. The Steelers now 6-3 on the year. And Philip Rollins, the first round selection, really looking good for the Steelers and starting to settle into this offense. The Patriots, though, now at 4-5 on the year. They went 11-5 last year. James Vallejo, a solid game in this one. It just was not enough. They're not getting a lot of help from their defense right now. But again, with the Bills playing great, with the Dolphins playing great, all of a sudden, the Patriots' reign might be coming to an end if they don't turn things around soon. Bradford would lead the way in tackles here. No sacks on the day. Interceptions, nothing taking place there either. Fumbles forced. You're going to have 1 fumble forced. It would not be recovered. 21-20, the Dolphins with a victory over the Raiders. The Dolphins now 7-2 on the year with Drew Brees leading the way after winning a Super Bowl last year with the Saints. The Raiders are now 4-5 on the year and have just yet to take that next step for their team at the moment. Jarvis Landry, 10 catches, 138 yards, and a touchdown for him as we take a look at the defense. And Kiko Alonso with 12 tackles leading the way, 2 sacks for Khalil Mack. Interceptions, nothing going on there. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. And 1 fumble forced by Mario Edwards Jr. He would recover it. Sims, 22 carries, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns for him. Patrick Peterson, 7 tackles, interception, fumble forced, and fumble recovered. Jalen Ramsey, 4 tackles, 3 interceptions, a fumble forced, and a fumble recovered. And then James Vallejo in a losing effort, 367 yards, 3 touchdowns on 35 of 48. Clemson right end Rodriguez Zidales struggles to make an impact and loss, marking 5th straight week without a sack. So not looking good for him. Might keep an eye on him just because he's a draft story, but overall not looking like a player that we would want to draft. No other draft stories there that I'm seeing. Cy Ostrowski, a left tackle. I'm sorry. This guy's projected to go number 1 overall. Really not looking that good though. But look at this guy, Tracy Wortham, a 5th round pick. B+ run block, B impact block, C+ pass block. That is a guy that I would like to target. Carson Palmer is going to be leading the way for the Cardinals. Tom Savage behind him. David Johnson at running back. And again, right now, the Cardinals only 3-6 on the year. Really struggling so far. Bruce Miller, the former 49er at fullback. John Brown, Michael Floyd, and Patterson, the wide receivers. Trace Ash is another very good wide receiver, though, despite his overall. Then you have Gresham and Philip Muhammad at tight end. Very solid offensive line here as well for the Cardinals. One of the best that we will see. They also have Eubanks, a rookie right guard, 77 overall. Campbell at left end, at right end, Nikamdichi. Did I say that correctly? I feel like I always say it wrong. I don't know. Knighton at defensive tackle. Chandler Jones, left outside linebacker. Deion Buchanan and Kevin Minter, middle linebacker. Darius Chekwa at right outside linebacker. Patrick Peterson at corner. So many playmakers within this defense. Matthew at free safety, and then Jefferson at strong safety. So plenty of playmakers. Despite their record, this is a team that can win. And when you are on the road within a division game, you never know what to expect. We just saw the 49ers lose to the Rams, and this is another team that could really give the 49ers some issues. Golden and Bannister out with injuries for the Cardinals. And I think let's take a look at trying to re-sign some of these guys again. Brown, I don't know. Tart, I do want back. I do like him as a backup. So let's offer him a bit more money, a lot more than what he's looking for, but he's been turning down everything anyway. And Tart will resign finally, so it's nice to have him back. Demetrius McCray, again, another guy we really want back. He has been excellent whenever we have called his number. And doesn't play a whole lot, but when he does, he's been out there making an impact. So another guy we'd like to get back, and he will accept for us. So it's nice to have Demetrius McCray back as well. Going through the list again, Tiller, Beatles, and Morgan, I think we're going to let them go. Rashard Robinson is a guy I still would like to bring back, and he's going to come back. I think he has a future with us still. Hopefully we can continue to improve him in practice. Aaron Burbridge, let's offer him a deal as well. Further down the depth chart than I was anticipating him being. But he, again, whenever we call his number, he's been solid. Same with Chris Owusu, who still makes big plays for us. I really like our receiving core at the moment, and I don't really feel like we need to change anything around. Shuffle the deck within the players further down the depth chart. That is going to be it for this episode, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Buckner is coming back for this next game. Couldn't be at a better time. And I will see you guys in Week 11 as we take on the Arizona Cardinals. Later.